I'm going to show you my new Honda Element, new to me, not new. And the reason that we have modified this vehicle out is Mikey and myself and my dog Sesame are about to hit the road. We live in southern New Mexico. It gets really hot in the summer. We're ready for a break. We're also into running in the mountains, and so far we've only run in that one. I don't know if you can see it behind the truck. So we really want to run in some other mountains. So we're hitting mountain towns throughout the Northwest, in Oregon and California and Montana, and yeah, and hopefully it's going to work out okay living in this vehicle for what's probably going to be, we hope, 5 or 6 months. So we were really turned on by the Honda Element because it's incognito. You can pull up on a suburban street and nobody's like, oh, they're living in their car. So that's what drew our attention to it. And in order to live in this vehicle, we had to make some modifications. The main one is this platform bed. So I'm going to let Mikey tell you more about it, but for now I'm going to just show you some of the stuff on the interior. So to make use of space, have a look inside. I got some 4-inch foam, and on top here is a polyester cover, and this is because picnicking is like a really common thing to do when you're traveling. So this comes off, I could throw it on the ground, it's tough, it's rugged. On the inside, I did a few really important things. So there's Mylar bubble wrap, and I cut custom pieces for every window so I can black out the whole interior so we can have privacy. I put these camping chairs here in the harness. We're hanging our headlamps and our little fold-up shopping bags so they're easy access. Up here on the ceiling, I have this mesh. This is for like the window shades. This is for our puffy coats. It's just so you can throw things up there and not fuss with them. We have a shock cord rope here with toilet paper, paper towels. We got a light, and here's our power strip, which goes down to an inverter below, which Mikey will talk more about. A couple of tiny details. You know, regular sized pillows were just too big when you have this little space. So these are 16-inch down pillows, and I just custom made some pillowcases for them. And then this is a really fun thing we did. This is a big long pillowcase, and I stuffed it with our sleeping bags and all our soft goods. So when we're not sleeping, this is a roll for like leaning up against and leaning against in the car, like a couch kind of thing. And then when it's time for bed, you just open the end and out come our blankets and our bedding. Another really important thing I did is I had to modify the door a tiny bit. So there's no way out of the Honda Element when you're in it if you're inside and this is closed, and so I'm sure we're going to want to get out without going through the side doors. So I opened up this back panel, I tied this piece of rope to the latch and ran it through and just put this pull cord at the end, so from inside now we can get out. I think that's it for this part of the car. I'm going to show you some other modifications. I talked to a lot of people who've lived in their cars, and the thing that everybody said was most important was airflow, ventilation, that it can get really hot and stuffy. So I ordered this no-seam netting. No-seam is basically, it prevents the smallest level of bug from going through it. And I made these little door cozies so that you just pull it over the whole door. I got a little piece of shock cord here with a little zip tie, it hugs on, and voila, and then you just open the window and airflow. So I made one for each of these windows, and then I made one more cozy for the back. And basically it's a big screen that hugs the entire back of the vehicle, and there's some clips here to hold them on, so this hugs all the way around. So I think that's going to be enough airflow. And then I'll just show you the other end of our bed because it has a great and I think important hinge in it. So we put one piano hinge here at this last third of the bed. That way you can lift it up and access some of the stuff below. And you can also hold this up by resting it against the chair. so you don't have to hold it up with yourself, with your arm. And then you can also make a backrest in the bed using the chairs to prop up the wood and the cushion. So a couple of little modifications. We'll see how those go. And we're using every bit of space. So in the back of our seat, we have a folding table, which just happens to fit really well there. That's going to be great for cooking. In our door, we have a brush, because we're going to want to clean the car out a lot. We have a shovel. This is definitely for pooping in the wilderness. And that's it. I'm going to let Mikey show you some stuff in the back.
Hi, I'm Mikey, and I want to show you the modifications we made on the lower side of the Honda Element. So, in this vehicle, when we built the bed, we actually hired someone to build this bed for us, and they did a great job of keeping over 16 inches of clearance for our stuff below, because most containers tend to be 12 to 14 inches in height, so having 16 inches, you can still get your arm in. When he built the bed structure itself, we didn't use a lot of cross supports that would get in the way, so we used 2x4s in a half lap configuration right here. They're glued and bolted together, and that's the only supports going across. So we're actually used a tap and die on the sides to secure the structure so the bed won't shake at all inside the vehicle. We're also using 3/4 inch furniture grade plywood. We used a linseed oil treatment on it, and it has a much smoother finish than most plywoods, and it's not much more money, so it was really nice to have a nice smooth plywood. Finally, below here we got a power system. This is a 12-volt battery that I have hooked up to the Honda Element's little cigarette plug, as well as an inverter. So when the car is running, the alternator will charge the battery, and when the car is off, the cigarette plug's disconnected, so we can actually run down this battery and not worry about running down our starter battery. So we'll have just enough power to run a juicer and a basic light. So it's just a little 200-watt inverter.
So this side also has its own cozy, just like the other. Pretty quick and easy to put on. And again, the door is holding the all-important flyers for my book, Milk Bones. And we're using every little bit of space. Bear mace, this might be really important. And my book, so we can give it to friends we meet on the road. If you haven't read my book, you should stop right now and buy this book. And okay, let's go to the back. Just like home.